Have you ever wondered why life can be so hard, even for people who have faith? It's a question many of us ask. If God is good, why do Christians still face pain, hardship, and loss? It's easy to think suffering is some kind of punishment, but the Bible offers a completely different perspective. It teaches that our trials are often not about punishment at all, but are instead powerful tools that God uses to shape, strengthen, and teach us. Let's explore this together. One of the biggest reasons for suffering is that it produces incredible spiritual growth. The book of James in the Bible puts it this way: consider it pure joy. Whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Think about that for a moment. When we go through tough times, our faith is put to the test. It's like a muscle that only gets stronger when it's exercised. This testing builds perseverance, which is that strength to keep going, no matter what. And as we persevere, our character deepens. This growth happens because trials force us to stop relying on our own strength and start relying completely on God. A perfect example of this is the Apostle Paul. If you read his story in 2 Corinthians, you'll see a list of unbelievable hardships. He was beaten, shipwrecked, constantly in danger, hungry, and cold. By any measure, his life was full of suffering. Yet, through all of that, God used him to spread the Christian message across the ancient world. His suffering didn't stop his mission. It fueled it and demonstrated God's power working through him. Secondly, suffering teaches us to depend entirely on God. Life has a way of humbling us, doesn't it? When things are going great, it's easy to feel like we've got it all under control. But when a crisis hits a health scare, a job loss, a broken relationship, we are quickly reminded of how little control we actually have. In those moments of weakness, we are invited to lean on God's strength. There's a beautiful verse in 2 Corinthians where God says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." This means our weakest moments are the very places where God's strength can shine the brightest in our lives. This was a man who had everything: a large family, great wealth, and perfect health. Then, in a series of devastating events, he lost it all. He had no idea why this was happening to him, and he cried out to God in his confusion and pain. But even in his darkest hour, Job never completely lost his trust in God. His suffering forced him into a deeper, more honest relationship with his Creator. And in the end, God not only restored what Job had lost, but blessed him with even more. His story shows us that even when we don't understand our pain, trusting God leads to restoration and a deeper connection with Him. Third, suffering can be a profound test of our faith. It's one thing to say we trust God when our prayers are being answered and life is smooth. But what about when the heavens feel silent? What about when our circumstances seem to contradict everything we believe about God's goodness? That is when our faith is truly tested and proven to be genuine. It reveals what's really in our hearts. Job, in the middle of his suffering, famously declared, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him." That is the essence of a faith that has been refined by fire. It's a trust that doesn't depend on circumstances, but on the unchanging character of God. Finally, and this might be the most powerful reason of all, our suffering can bring incredible blessings to other people. When we walk through trials with faith, our lives become a living testimony to God's faithfulness. The Apostle Paul wrote that we are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. When others see us go through fire without being consumed, it gives them hope. It shows them that God's strength is real. Your story of enduring hardship with grace and trust can be the very thing that encourages someone else to hold on, to seek God, and to find strength in their own struggles. Your pain is never wasted. God can use it to comfort, heal, and inspire others in ways you might never even know. So, while we may never have a full answer to the question of why on this side of eternity, we can trust that God has a purpose in our pain. He uses it to grow us, to draw us closer to Him, to prove our faith, and to bless the world through our stories. Thanks for watching today. If this message encouraged you, please give it a like and subscribe for more content that helps us navigate life with faith. See you in the next video.